We stand together and oppose Russia's brutal war of aggression in Ukraine. You can clap for that, please. We've got to get this done. And the Taoiseach and I agree about the urgent need to increase humanitarian aid in Gaza and get the ceasefire deal. Get a ceasefire deal that brings the hostages home and move toward a two-state solution, which is the only path for lasting peace and security. We celebrate the bonds of our friendship today, connecting millions of Irish Americans and the American people. We celebrate the friendship between two great nations, one that has shaped our past and strengthened our present and inspires our future. So happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
President Biden, one of your country's most sacred promises is to defend the principles of democracy and freedom against tyranny and oppression. And when Ukraine was invaded, you honoured that promise and stood firm against an adversary who tore up the rulebook of international law and repudiated our sacred humanity. So on behalf of Ireland and the wider European community, we commend your leadership and reaffirm that Europe stands with you and with Ukraine for as long as it takes. As you know, the Irish people are deeply troubled about the catastrophe that's unfolding before our eyes in Gaza. And when I travel the world, leaders often ask me why the Irish have such empathy for the Palestinian people. And the answer is simple. We see our history in their eyes, a story of displacement, of dispossession, a national identity questioned and denied, forced emigration, discrimination, and now hunger. So we support your work and that of your administration to secure a humanitarian ceasefire and to create the space for lasting peace. The people of Gaza desperately need food, medicine and shelter, and most especially they need the bombs to stop. This has to stop on both sides, the hostages brought home and humanitarian relief allowed in. Israel must reverse its precipitous decision to authorise a land incursion into Rafah. And after 100 years of violence, as you said, the only secure future lies in two states, peaceful and sovereign, side by side. And Ireland stands ready to recognise a Palestinian state with like-minded partners when it's most helpful for peace. Mr. President, we also see Israel's history reflected in our eyes. A diaspora whose heart never left home, no matter how many generations passed. A nation-state that was reborn and a language revived. I believe it's possible to be for Israel and for Palestine, and I believe you do too.